Hello and welcome to Top10List.org, where you get a world of knowledge in just 10 simple points. Today's episode is going to be about reasons why you shouldn't cheat in a relationship. And we're going to start at number 10 with fear of God. God is our supreme power and He is above all. You've been brought into this wonderful place by none other than Him and sustained none other by Him. Hence, one should always have a second thought before doing such kind of filthy act. Whatever said and done, whatsoever be the reason, you should always ensure not to take such drastic steps. As it is rightly said, as you sow, so shall you reap. Believe in God or not. You can't take away from that fact of life. You are going to have to face the consequences of your misdeeds all by yourself, and there will be no support from you from anywhere, and you would be left devastated on this big earth. Number 9, respect the family values and traditions. Family values play a pivotal role in any man's life. It is the heart and soul that lies within each being. You become what you are because of your family. In such a situation, how could one ever think of shattering your family's hopes and aspirations? One should not forget the values inculcated by parents from birth and resort to such actions. What we do has a deep impact on the teachings of our parents, and therefore it is always better to abide by our values and traditions. Number 8, of course, is the fear of being caught. How can anyone live a life filled with fear, anxiety, and apprehensions? Yes, that's exactly why you shouldn't even get involved in extramarital relationships. You start it for the sake of fun or even otherwise different things, and then it hangs on to you until the very last second. And in some cases, it becomes pretty difficult to handle both sides, and you end up lying to your spouse. Is that something really important? Is it really that important that you ought to get scared of being caught? I didn't think so. And at number 7, we have guilt. This 5-lettered word has a very powerful meaning. When someone is engaged in an extramarital relationship, it becomes very difficult to lead a peaceful and calm life. The guilt of involving with someone else constantly lingers around the mind, and with this guilt, many may even find it uncomfortable to share the room with their better halves. All those precious moments and lovely gifts gifted by a spouse gives a stabbing feeling on the chest, and you feel it's going to take your life. Neither you can reveal the truth, nor can you enjoy these precious moments with your spouse. And number 6 is sacred vows of marriage. Marriage is an eternal relationship, the one where you take sacred vows and always remain by the side of your spouse and tackle any kind of difficult situations. That's why the vows are for richer or for poor, in sickness and health, and for better or for worse, not for when it suits you and only when it suits you. Now, these vows and many other promises are being made on the marriage day, and when a person thinks of engaging elsewhere, he or she should just take a thought of what those words meant when they came out of your mouth. Number 5 is commitment. Commitment is the promise one gives to the spouse. It is one of the biggest strengths in a relationship. If you have given a promise to someone, it is wise to not break that promise and start a relationship with someone else. Does that mean that this commitment has no value at all? It is always better to be committed to your spouse, as this helps lead a happier life. Number 4 is also loyalty. Relationship is also about being loyal to oneself and also to your spouse. If that goes off, then life would have no meaning at all. Parents nurture us all the years of our lives and then hand us over to a spouse with whom they will have to spend a majority of our life with. It is they who share with us all the feelings and problems, and if life turns out to be, unloyal, or they have a sense of unloyalty to them, life becomes worthless and a mere waste. It's not worth it. Number 3, this also creates a deep rift and impact on family. Family does not comprise of just you and your better half. Instead, it is inclusive of the children, who play a much important role in the family. Just think of the plight of children when they learn that one of their parents is involved in an extramarital affair. Stop being selfish and think of other people around you. All the respect and love earned by you over the years would be completely lost in a single second. No more this could be called a family once again, as all that was present has been totally shattered. And now you're going to have to go through years to repair what you just lost in a second. Number 2 is love and affection. These are the 2 most important aspects in any relationship. You tied the knot with that special someone, and you created that bond. This bond continues to get stronger and stronger as days pass, and then as you reach a stage where it becomes utmost difficult to even think of life without your spouse. The love and affection increases to a greater extent, and then how can you reach a stage wherein you think of someone else in your heart? It is just impossible to give away that special place to a third person who is not at all involved with the details of your life. And last but not least, most important, is we have mutual trust. Trust is probably the biggest criteria and foundation for any successful relationship. After you physically and mentally bond with a person, a trust develops in both of you. How can you ever think of betraying that trust and walking away from your spouse to that third person? Just think of the situation your spouse would be in when he or she comes to know of your deeds. Your better half would feel that they're left alone with no support and love in some situations, and he or she might take some extreme steps, sometimes even suicide. You are with your spouse because of that trust. Then why do you ever think of spoiling that trust in a relationship? You know, I hope this kicks some things into gear in your minds. Hopefully a lot of you have already known this stuff, but I definitely hope it was insightful and educational inside relationships. If you enjoyed this episode, click subscribe and don't hesitate to join us again for another edition of Top 10.